Alrighty, it's that time of the week. So hello and welcome back. Hello everyone to episode 122 of the Hypecast with yours truly as always, Sean, aka Hawk525, with my cohort as always, ZawarudoWrrryy. So yes, drinking that Pepsi as always.
We're not endorsed.
Yeah, we're not sponsored nor endorsed by Pepsi. So
or affiliated
or anything. Yeah, anything in between. No, we're not. Yeah. Speaking of Pepsi, I did beat Fire Emblem Engage with the Pepsi boy / girl.
I had to check the colors.
Yeah, red and blue, man. Check the logo. So yeah, I actually had fun with the game overall, and I probably give it like a 9 out of 10, just because it's been so fun, and I had no problem like grinding or anything like that. The combat is like really fun for Fire Emblem as a tactical RPG and stuff like that. So just a good all around Fire Emblem. I guess one of the only things that are quote unquote like weak for this game is like some of the fan service, and the story itself could be like, I don't know, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Like if you want a cheesy story, then this is it. But like if you're looking for something like a little more serious, then Three Houses is the better game when it comes to that regard. But otherwise everything else is more updated, so naturally Engage is like probably the overall better package. So yep. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to the chat. So, chat. What Hawk here is trying to say is that this is just his prep time until Advance Wars comes out.
Yeah, another tactical RPG coming to the Switch. In this case, April. So I definitely have something to look forward to in April for sure now. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
But if they delay that game, Hawk's gonna have some interesting words for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And probably 3 katanas, one in each hand and one in
the mouth. Yeah. Clenched
probably
in my
screaming onigiri or something like that.
Yeah, I'd have that one sword clenched in my teeth and all that stuff. So anyway, so I put it took me 130 hours to beat the game, so kind of tells you how much time I put into the game and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. And there is an expansion pass for it if you want more content after that. I mean, yes, it does kind of suck to have to pay extra money for it, but it is what it is. So that's just kind of the age we live in, right? So if you want extra content, you gotta cough up the dough. So it'll pretty much, I mean, if you're willing to want the extra stuff for Fire Emblem, it'll cost you $30, and then the base game is 60. So yeah, and we'll talk about Zelda in a bit here because of the base price for that game. But anyway, we actually do not have any fighting game news. But before we get into all the other news, was there anything you wanted to like kind of mention when it comes to like games or anything like that? Like the one thing you want to mention during your week or anything like that, or?
Slowly I'm getting a little bit more interested with Hogwarts Legacy, but I kind of want to dedicate my time to like other games coming up.
Gotcha. Okay. What are games coming up that you're potentially
pique my interest?
Yeah, pique your interest.
Wolong. It will be my third Soulsborne like game that I ever touched.
Wulong? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like an indie developed game, or is it like
No, it's the one being made by Koei Tecmo.
Oh, okay. I think it's starting to come back. Okay. I was like, wow.
Wolong
Yeah.
Fallen Dynasty. I'm only gonna play that because it's taking place in the Three Kingdoms
Right.
like era, and me being an idiot for Dynasty Warriors, it's like, oh, I get to fight Lubu. Let's go, smack. Oh,
Yep. Yep.
it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
gotta make Lubu badass somehow, right? In every video game incarnation of the Three Kingdoms. So yeah.
Which
unless,
now
unless they are willing to take that risk and make him like an absolute like just pushover or something. I don't know.
trash.
Trash, just like a
Yeah,
wimp.
trash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is that.
But my friends were saying that from the gameplay they saw, it's more inclined to what's that other game I played? It's on my Neo. There you go.
Neo. Okay.
Because-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I'm a sucker for like Chinese, like
Yeah, Three Kingdoms kind of.
or like the combat system. You know, like
Mm.
growing up in the '90s, you can agree to this. We loved our Chinese movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That was like early 2000s, but that pretty much is kind of like late 90s ish.
I mean, we had like what Jackie Chan's Time Cop.
Time
movies.
Cop, Rumble in the Bronx. Like that was the era. That was Jackie Chan's era. I felt like.
It was, I think, both Jackie and Jet Li's.
I think Jet Li came in a little later, but yeah, nonetheless.
Later, yeah.
Yeah, nonetheless.
But yeah, Wulong is definitely up there.
Right. Anything else?
FF16, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, right. Well, that's like in June, so we have still a ways away. But it's already like it's already past Valentine's Day, man. Like I felt like February 1st was just like a few days ago, but like bam, we're already almost in the 20s for the 20th day of February and stuff like that. I mean, by the time this comes out, it's like right around that time. So yeah.
Yep.
But anything like coming soon that's like on your radar or not? So that's pretty much it.
Let me check. Let me check the list.
Right.
Bring up the list.
Why you do that? For me, it's like Atomic Heart, and then in March I'll pick up or try to pick up rather, Yakuza Ishin. So yeah, or excuse me, like a Dragon Ishin, because they're trying to move away from the Yakuza name. But yeah, you know, it can't be helped. I'm waiting on Wild Hearts a little bit, like see if the guys like it, because I've been hearing like mixed things right now. So like I heard like the monster is so big that you can't like really do anything other than trying to dodge them. Like too big in a bad way, you know, like because like the area could be small, and then you got this big ass thing like up in your camera and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of heard.
So it's pretty much like, as you said, the area is going to be small, and the monster takes up like 85% of that.
That's what it sounds like, or that's what it seems like. Yeah, because I've watched like some of the early reviews for it, and that's what I'm gathering right now. So I'm gonna wait on it a little longer and see. I mean, if the guys are playing it, then maybe I'll play it. But god damn it, man, it's $70. Yeah, maybe
That's what I wanted to also play. I found it.
What was it? Or what is it?
Metroid.
Oh, you want to play the remastered?
Is it a remaster or a remake?
I don't know. It's well, I mean,
I know
it's the same game essentially.
It's the same game, but
with revamped
prettier,
graphics, right? It's prettier, yeah. It's got more texture to it, and blah blah blah. So I consider it a good remaster.
They did like a good. They fixed the
camera, the controls,
the camera and the aiming,
so. To the point where
so I guess it's a it's a make.
I don't know. I still consider it a remaster. Like in that middle. Yeah. It's a good remaster for sure. It's not like it's a remaster that takes it a little more further than your average remaster, because a bunch of remasters are like it's like the same game but like a little bit of cleaning, and then they just throw it into whatever the new console is, right? But Metroid here in this case is like they do that, but they also even like just redo the texturing and stuff like that. But it's essentially the same game still. It's just that you have some of the controls being modernized for today's standards, and like, you know. But if it's like FF7 remake kind of thing, that's a fucking remake, because it's like a completely like new game. Telling a similar story is based off of an old games, the story of an old game. I mean, you can even call it a brand new game, because it's like a different take altogether. Like even the story is a bit different. It's quite different, I should say. But it's definitely a remake for sure. So, but anyway, is that it for you?
For now, yes.
For now, yeah. Yeah, again, Atomic Heart for me, which is like coming out in a few days, or pretty much like next day when this episode comes out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then potentially Wild Hearts, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm starting to like kind of lose the interest a little bit just from hearing the reviews so far. I'm probably, if anything, I'm probably just gonna Game Pass it. Just get Game Pass, play it for a month, and then that's it. I'm probably just gonna be done with it or whatever, because I don't want to honestly pay $70 just to play it for potentially for like a week, and then that's it. You know what I mean? So, because Game Pass, if you Game Pass it, then it's just $10 a month. So I'll probably do like a max of 2 months, which is $20, and then, you know, get my fill of it. I know what it's like, and that's it. Hopefully it's on Game Pass, but yeah, I'll take a look at that if the guys like it anyway. All right, well, enough chit chat. Like I said, there wasn't anything new for fighting games other than the fact that Capcom Cup is happening as we speak. But by the time this episode comes out, it's well done. So yeah, it's definitely good done by then. So been an interesting, I guess, Capcom Cup so far as of this recording, because it's just been a lot of Lukes, a number of birdies I've seen, and then Fongs, if you remember that character. And Ending Walker, I think his name is, like the surprise like player, because, you know, he's so young, like at 16 years old, and just tearing up with Ed of all characters. So I don't think anyone, not too many people are playing Ed other than that player. So maybe actually I lied. There is one other Ed player in the Capcom Cup. So actually there is that, but still, nonetheless, not to discredit any Walker or anything like that, but Ed players, you know, kind of a uncommon breed, I guess you can say. There was, well, during LCQ, I did see one Alex player, and that's the Kichipa. Kichipa was like the grappling player, right? He used to play a lot of Geef, but because of where Geef is right now, unfortunately, he's kind of like off, pretty much like not playable in the worst way possible in comparison to all the other characters. So that's why Kichipa switched over to Alex. And then Itabashi Zangief plays G right now, who previously played, of course, Geef as well. But then switched over to Abigail, and then switched over to G. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, so yeah, it's been quite the ride for this game. So you kind of see where it's at, right, with Luke, right? Because Luke is like, kind of like has the like just solid everything, right? So you can't really go wrong with Luke. Is he the best character? Not necessarily, but he's just solid at everything. So yeah. And that's like kind of like a transition to Street Fighter 6, because, you know, he's like the main character for that game essentially. So it's like a transition. It's like a transition thing almost felt seems like by coincidence. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it for fighting game stuff. We don't really have anything other than the fact that yes, Capcom Cup is happening here, and unfortunately, we're not going to get any news. There will be no news. I know this this episode will be in the past, or in a way, because Capcom Cup didn't have news, blah blah, right, for any characters and things like that. They're doing that, probably doing that for like a state of play or something like that for PlayStation at some point. That's what I feel like anyway. They're probably going to do it like by the end of February, I'm predicting. We'll see. Maybe beginning of March. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that is it for realsies. Let's get into the front line because that's we do have something to talk about. So there was an update. I did talk about this one for Genshin Impact, more specifically towards the English side of things because of the voice actor who was involved in a pretty bad situation where so voice actor for Tighnari, the character Tighnari, voice actor Elliot Gindi has admitted to just heinous crimes essentially involving with himself, essentially doing like pretty nasty things with the young fans, right? So that's pretty much all you need to know. And I have seen most recent stuff coming out from Gindi after the fact that these victims were coming out with their stories, right? And then they once again had to pretty much like show new pictures and receipts because Gindi has been going around and being like, hey, could you be hush hush about this after all this stuff? Because you're why'd you do this? Blah blah blah, all this stuff, right? Trying to be hush hush about it for no reason because it's already too late. Like what? Like why? What's the point? But but nonetheless, like Gindi tried to be hush hush about it with all the or a number of the victims who came out with the stories, and yeah, and then of course one of the prominent sort of faces of the victims here, Kazuya, showed those new screenshots, and I took a look at those, and it's pretty bad. It's or really bad, I should say. It's really rough. But fortunately, Genshin Impact on their official Twitter account actually came out and said, "Dear travelers, after communications with the voice recording agency, we hereby confirm that Elliot Gindi, the English voice actor for Tighnari, will no longer be voicing the character in subsequent versions due to a breach of contract." In the next thread, it says, "At present, we are communicating with the voice recording agency regarding matters of recasting and re-recording. We will gradually replace Tighnari's existing in-game voice lines and issue these updates in the corresponding announcements. Thank you for your support, travelers." So, very fortunate for the English-speaking players of Genshin Impact because obviously, no one wants to associate with this voice actor at this point. Nobody. I mean, yeah, we've seen the bigotry, the absolutely just nasty things that have come out from Gindi, even after he apologized on Twitter or whatever, and then like had the like the black profile picture and everything, right, that you do on Twitter and all that stuff, like I'm sorry, I'll try to do better, that kind of stuff. But then like what I mean, like and then after that he goes around like telling people like, hey, could you quiet down, like why'd you do this, right? Like I thought we had something, right? Blah blah blah, that kind of weird stuff, and just like an absolute weirdo, man. So it's like I said, it was really bad, and my heart goes out to all the victims, man, who have been going through this, and not to mention they've been like weird fake accounts, I guess, of Gindi, I guess, disguised as Gindi, LA Gindi, or it is Gindi, but it's like a burner account. I don't know, but they're sending death threats, man. It was like weird. Like why are you sending death threats to the victims, right? I guess either that is Gindi or they're like weird fans of Gindi because I guess they like Tighnari's voice that much. I don't know. But yeah, they're sending death threats. It's terrible, man. It's a dire time, right? So again, my heart goes out to the victims of this situation here. But yeah, but fortunately, Hoyoverse has acted pretty quickly, right? It looks like they were sort of responding in the behind the scenes. Obviously, they're gonna say anything until hey, they know stuff and they have the evidence and stuff like that to help confirm. Yeah, like because we've had situations where it's like very obscure or they were pretty much like mistakes or out of context type of stuff. So you don't really want to jump the gun, obviously. So, however, seem to have done their research, right, to investigate this situation, and they have concluded that yes, after all the screenshots and receipts from the victims, such like that, they let go. They let go of Gindi. So no more Gindi for Tighnari in the future, and yeah, so they're gonna re-record the lines. I hope they re-record the all the like battle voice lines, right? Because obviously that's like the most immediate thing you'll hear from Tighnari. So like, and there is a voice line, unfortunately, that I know for sure will age terribly with Tighnari in English, that is. And yeah, so it's essentially he says, time to nip it in the bud, right? But if you, yeah, right. So yeah, so it's bud, what that word sounds like, right? So I mean, yeah. So yeah.
I kind of wanted to do the Stewie, like remember Family Guy Stewie's head turn when Brian said your upside down face, and Stewie's like, fuck you, son.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
in front of the dad.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the like I think those lines, the battle lines, should come first in my opinion because yeah, again, that's like what you hear most, and then work on the storylines and all the story quest lines and dialogue and stuff like that. So, but nonetheless, though, kudos to Hoyoverse/Genshin Impact for this rather quick response and transparent response, right? Obviously, no one wants to hear that voice anymore. So, at this point. So yeah, it's in the pudding at this point, and like that this person is not to be dealt with, man. Like it. I hope we see the proper justice from this whole situation for the victims and such. And yeah, so did you have anything to say about the situation at all?
It's funny that they moved faster to get rid of someone's out of the game, unlike other companies where it took them like how many months? Because even I'm just saying like in general, like these guys moved fast.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. They definitely move fast for this sort of situation. They definitely are pretty quick in comparison to other sort of agencies and also just companies in general. Was there a game that you were particularly mentioning in mind, or not really? You're just speaking generally.
Just in general.
Okay,
like,
yeah, right. And I mean, of course, it's not just for video games, but
with,
anime. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like voice actors in general when they have like done something questionable.
Right.
Sometimes the agency takes their sweet ass time, and then all of a sudden we have Mojo here going like, wow, look at all these receipts that actually have some what's the word, weight to it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, let's yeah. thank you for your time here, but goodbye.
Yeah, and this news actually reached out, farther than what I would expect. Like even some of the non-Genshin players were talking about Gindi. So I'm just like, wow, okay, so that's like a surprise. I mean, I guess that's how big of a news it was for what it is, right? Because I mean, Genshin is big within the community, of course, but like there's still people out there who don't play, of course. I mean, yeah, like Genshin itself has a large player base still, but obviously not everyone plays it, right? But even the non-Genshin players are starting to talk about it to an extent, so that's kind of like how much of a significance it has. So I think that's good. I mean, to spread awareness that this person is dangerous. Obviously, this person needs to be properly charged with those crimes, right? For and bring justice, right, for the victims. And like I've been saying, so overall, I mean, obviously, this was a terrible situation, but definitely came out with rather good W overall, from this whole thing, right? We got what we wanted, which is to not have the voice in the future for now the previous voice for Tighnari. So hopefully we'll get a new voice actor soon, get all that done, get all that cleaned up, and we can move forward and enjoy the game again. So yeah. But yeah, it just sucks to see people, kind of like come out with their true colors and actually be dangerous, man. And especially in this case, right? Like, again, I've seen the evidence. I've seen some of the screenshots, and they're terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like, of course, right? Like, this is like a dire and terrible situation, So yeah. That is pretty much it. Again, much kudos to Hoyoverse handling the situation very swiftly and also transparently as well. So being transparent about it with the players and such like that. So yeah, good to see that at least they have priorities in those places. So yeah. So I believe that's pretty much it on that end. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about in the frontline side of things, and that is the $70 base price for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So there was a bit of a screenshot first, like, uh-oh, this might be real, right? And then soon after that, Nintendo or whoever runs the website like blocked the price or whatever. Like, they didn't even show the price. So I'm just like, uh-oh, shit. And then after the fact, right after the direct, Tears of the Kingdom was available for pre-orders, and guess what? It's $70, I guess. So yeah, but strangely, I think it was $60 for either Amazon and or GameStop. So Todd brought the question up to me, and it was asking, like, okay, so for those people, right, if they pre-order the game in advance, do they get a $10 jump, or their pre-orders were canceled altogether, or like, you know what I mean? Because like, I don't think Nintendo's gonna let that fly. So, did they had to pay $10 more for that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, so that is a good question, because I don't know myself, and I'm kind of curious about that too. But I mean, of course, at this point, I don't think you can pre-order for $60 anymore. But for those who did, I wonder if they got away with it or not. So like, shout out to those people, I guess, for acting really quickly. But did it really matter in the end? It's what I also wonder myself. So yeah. I mean, so what are your thoughts about the $70 price tag thing?
It better be fucking good.
Right. So that's like the big question: is it worth the $70? Right? Because it's still in the same generation of the Switch, and yet we got a price jump in the same generation, right? So that's like a very weird thing. It's a very weird time that we live in right now when it comes to this sort of situation, man. So yeah, it better be worth it, man. We better get something that would justify the extra $10, So maybe like the DLC will be cheaper, but I don't think so, man. I think the DLC is probably going to be like the same price, whatever.
Like that game better have like a fucking body pillow of dried up in Ganondorf.
Something, right?
Imagine it did.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh my, I was joking.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have asked for Cass.
Yeah. So
shit.
Mm-hmm. So people are wondering.
Like,
oh wait, yeah, go ahead.
Because right there it says on the reasoning for the $69.99 price tag, they say we determine the suggested retail price for any Nintendo product on a case-by-case basis. So it right. That already sounds sketchy.
That sounds very sketchy. Yes, yeah. I was about to say,
like they could just like throw that price tag at anything, like even a game that's not even worth it.
I know, right? So they're testing the waters, man. So that's what they're doing. It's like, of course, people are gonna buy fucking Zelda. That's a game that
They're gonna buy it,
yeah,
but
we've been waiting for a long time now. So, of course, it's Zelda. Like, of course, we're gonna buy it because it's a good series. It's just that, yeah, with the $70 tag, it's like, oh my god, like why? I mean, we still want to play it, but Jesus, man, you really want to milk us of our wallets or something? Like, oh, I mean, yes, that's what they're doing, but um, the second question is, of course, like, if this trend is gonna be continue going forward, and then again it says no, we determine the suggested price going on a case by case basis. So yeah, so
now my other question on this suggested retail price on a case by case basis.
uh-huh,
Where's that coming from? Is it coming from the
right,
U.S. branch or the main branch in Japan? And then on top of that, because sometimes the marketing team doesn't like talk to the higher ups, they just throw it
yeah,
and then talk to them after they get flack.
mm-hmm.
So I wonder if Doug Bowser knows about this.
I'm pretty sure they know. I think this is coming straight from Japan, so I believe this is coming from.
Yeah, I bet you because I wonder if this is also for like um the dollar amount, what's it called?
Oh, the currency
Yeah, the currency
conversion. Yeah,
exchange.
yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe that might be a reason why.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because remember, kids, a few months ago, I want to say 2 months ago, the conversion rate was pretty good.
Yes, for us,
Good,
yeah.
good, yeah, good for us, bad for them. So maybe
Hmm.
this is a way to
Or,
make
or
it
or
up.
was it because, like, for them, so many tourists were coming in, they were buying
Mhm.
stuff, right? So I mean, is
But
it?
Japan still has the what's it called? Not lockdown, but
Oh, like you mean
you
like
have to meet certain requirements beforehand to
right?
visit Japan.
Yeah, to visit Japan, yeah. So because the pandemic kind of guidelines and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So let me.
because I think they still have like a not like a queue, but like something like a queue. Like only certain amount of people could enter Japan at a
Mm-hmm.
time.
Right. So hold on. Let me see.
So with the conversions that was like 2 months ago, everyone, let's just say I threw in like at least $500 as a conversion, you know, to the stuff. So whenever I freaking want to go to Japan, I'm ready.
Yeah. So um, right now it is 134 according to Google anyway. But previously it was like 148, which is like fucking
Yep.
huge, right? So in the past the average was like 100 to like 120, but like 148 or at some point maybe even higher, that's fucking big. So yeah, obviously people wanted to convert their dollars to yen for future stuff, or like, oh, just go to Japan and just buy up all the figures, anime figures and whatever the hell they want to buy, you know what I mean? So that was,
I
yeah.
remember like back then, like there was like that one period, the dollar amount to yen was kind of equal.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
like for a 1-to-1 ratio, and I was like, wow.
I think I even with my family, of course, a long time ago, went to Japan when it was 80 yen to a dollar. So it was like more for them a little bit, So
Yeah.
it tends to, of course, seesaw a little bit, go back and forth a little bit. So, but right now we're in that weird time, with the money and stuff like that. So it is a little higher than usual, right? Even now. So it is, I guess, something sort of interesting, I guess you could say. But yes, it
Back to
sucks.
this 70 thing. I think it's just for Japan to make up some of the losses. And as you said, testing the waters,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also at a weird time because we're still at Generation 1 Switch. We
Yeah.
don't even have we don't have a Pro. And I'm kind of glad Nintendo's not doing what Sony is doing, or some video games video game companies that's under Sony. I think it was Santa Monica or something saying that, oh, we're gonna make this game already for the PS6, and I was like,
Oh, it was Last of Us, like whatever, right? Part 3 or whatever. So,
yeah, and I was
yeah.
like, I'm like looking at my PS5 going like, are you really that old?
Yeah.
Like, I swear you only came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah. We're barely
Like,
even
you're not that
halfway.
old.
Yeah, we're barely halfway to the usual lifetime, right? So,
Like, Microsoft's not even like announcing like, yeah, we have a new Xbox coming up. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's a strange time we live in right now when it comes to video games. So,
I wonder
yeah.
if the $70
My God,
price
please.
tag is also for like a feature in the game, to also test it out. But like how some games now they have performance mode, graphics mode, and then the balance mode. So maybe this game might be like that testing ground also to see like how well
On the
the
Switch?
performance, how well the performance mode will look on the Switch.
On the
how well
Switch. Jeez.
the graphics.
Man. That's quite the
I know.
that's the statement you're making there, man.
It's like, how bold of you, Nintendo, doing this shit.
Yeah, I really think it's just them testing the waters to see if they are willing to pay this much money for these games on the Switch, even though the Switch is still in that same generation, right? We haven't even hopped on over to the Switch Pro or anything like that, man. Like it's people are gonna buy it, and then people the suits are just gonna be like, oh well, they still bought it at $70, so we'll just jack up the price for everything else, I guess, like. So we're definitely gonna see a Mario game being $70, a Donkey Kong, whatever next Donkey Kong game coming out for $70, the Metroid Prime 4 coming out for $70, right? That's definitely gonna be $70. But right now, Pikmin 4, that's one of the newer games still coming out for this year on the Switch. That's going to be still $60, thankfully. So, there is still some bit of like silver lining, but people are gonna, like I said, like I'm saying, people are gonna buy it, man, and it's gonna make them think, oh, they're gonna be okay with it. They're cool with it, right? I mean, so it's gonna like this whole thing, not just for Zelda, but for like anything right now, like $70. Wild Hearts is $70, so it's like, no way, man. So like the DLC on top of that, it's gonna be $100, man. So like the average spending is gonna be $100, right? Like, so, like, for just a basic season pass and then the game itself, like, fuck, man. Game is gonna be fucking, oh man. Like, I don't even want to think about that, but I think that's probably like the reality we're heading to, man. But yeah. So right now, Tears of the Kingdom, it's pretty much like Breath of the Wild 2, it's gonna be $70, right? When you have a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? Big budget game, right? $60. Huge budget game. But then if you look at like Breath of the Wild, right? Like, it's got some voice acting. Sure, the graphics look stylish, but I don't think they actually spent development costs as something like Final Fantasy VII. But I'm just making assumptions, right? So what do I know? But I feel like that's like such a huge budget game, right? In comparison to Breath of the Wild slash Tears of the Kingdom, so it's they're using the same graphics. They're probably gonna have the same amount of voice acting. It's not like they're gonna have every voice the dialogue lines for the side quests and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So Link still doesn't talk, so there is that. So, like,
It'd be so funny that this upcoming game he does talk. How much are we gonna see like people just returning it, going nope.
he's gonna be he's gonna be voiced by who's like a hot actor right now, like the new hotness kind of actor right now, right? So Chris Pratt. I don't know. Let's just take Chris Pratt.
No,
You know?
he's gonna be voiced by Jet Black.
Who?
Jet Black. I mean Jack Black. Why am I saying
like from the movie Cowboy Bebop. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You mean the actor who played Jet Black? Or
No.
yeah, Jack Black. Yeah.
No, the actual.
Yeah,
Jack
Jack Black. Yeah, or D Jet Black. Oh my goodness. What it was like Mads Mikkelsen, like it was like this, like even though he plays villains, like he plays the hero this time. It's like completely off. You know? But anyway, you have this like AAA celebrity voicing, Link, you know what I mean? So maybe that's where it went, probably, but that's of course that's just me hypothetically speaking for the fun of it. But nonetheless, it sucks that this is true, obviously. And yes, I'm still gonna buy the game myself because I do want to play Zelda, right? Breath of the Wild was pretty fun for what it was. And so yeah, I'm probably just gonna buy the base game, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because I didn't even bother with the expansion pass for Breath of the Wild, so I missed out on the motorcycle, but who cares? I'm satisfied with this. I'm satisfied. I've had my fill with Breath of the Wild, and that's probably gonna be the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. Once I finish the main story, I'm probably just gonna be done with it altogether. So but yeah, still, it's gonna be hitting hitting harder on the wallet. So yeah, luckily, when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, that's the only game I'm buying. So there's not really much else for me to buy for that month, right? Which is in May. So that's a little bit of a, like a, leniency, I guess, right? So I can kind of relax a little bit, but still having to pay $10 more than the average game right now. It's like, fuck, man, it's gonna be fucking annoying for sure. So, and meanwhile, we have a game like Atomic Heart. I think that's $60 too. So that looks like that's been quite a lot of work was put into that game. So yeah. Very ambitious game. So we'll see if it pulls through or not. But yeah, man, you're paying $70 for Breath of the Wild 2 essentially, man. It's just, from what it looks like anyway. So it's man. Thinking about that is just like, god damn, man. God damn. All right, so anything else you wanted to add in? Are we good?
Good luck, Nintendo.
Yeah. Case by case basis, huh? More like we're just testing the waters. That's what it kind of comes out to me, man. Yeah. Sort of that PR speak, right? Okay, so there was those other tabs and links and such like that. Meanwhile, relating to Nintendo, Fire Emblem Engage debuted at number 5, I believe, right? So yeah, so it's up there, right? So it's not like a top game or anything like that. It did beat Pokemon Scarlet Violet at some point, but then yeah, so it's not like, but this is I guess in comparison to all the other stuff, right? So so it is still beating Pokemon for sure. So that's pretty cool. It's even beating like Elden Ring, Forspoken, but this is like later terms, right? So Ragnarok has already come out like some time ago. For Forspoken though, that's a newer game, right? So it's one of the recent games that have come out. So that's something. That's an accomplishment, right? For Fire Emblem Engage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is of course in terms of video game sales across the United States. But for right now, I guess number 1 as of January 2023 is still Modern Warfare 2. I'm imagining that's the remake, right? So that's, if it's like the old ass one, like OG Modern Warfare 2, that's kind of sad. But but I'm pretty sure this is the remake. So yeah. And then speaking of remakes, there's Dead Space remake, and then sadly the other two games are beating Engage's FIFA 2023 and Madden NFL 23. So there is that. But it's up there. So I'm glad to see that. It's a good game. I think it is a good game. I think if you want to get around to playing a Fire Emblem of sorts, I think this is a good one for the Switch. It's just colorful. It's got updated combat stuff. It's flashy, and the protagonist talks quite a bit. There's a lot of voice acting for the protagonist. So yeah, if you don't want that like silent protagonist kind of thing, if you're tired of that, you're not gonna see it here. This is a game to pick up, man. But I can understand that the main character's design can be a little off-putting because the whole Pepsi thing. But yeah. Now that I think about it, I should have called my main character Pepsi Man or something instead of my name. it would have been funny. But yeah. There is a reason why his hair or her hair is like that. So there is context to it actually. So believe it or not. So if you want to know why, maybe perhaps play the game. So yeah. Other Nintendo news. This is one of the few W's that are coming out from Nintendo Japan anyway. Let me get rid of this cookie stuff. Okay, so
I love cookies.
Yeah, I like the real cookies, but not the internet cookies. Anyways, Nintendo is raising the pay for its employees by 10% in Japan. So this is like actually one of the big sort of rare W's that's coming out from Nintendo, because Nintendo's been kind of like a big a-hole when it comes to like other game stuff. Like for example, the Metroid Prime remake or remaster, they didn't properly credit the original developers for Metroid Prime. So what's that all about, right? Like why? They didn't properly credit them. What the hell is that all about? Like just because you don't want to like take up too much time? Like what the fuck, man? You should absolutely give all the time for those developers. They deserve all the credit, right? Like they're the ones who made the original fucking game, right? So, but anyways, here is a rare W, as even though like Nintendo, according to this, hasn't made as much money, they are still going ahead and raising the pay for their employees. So that's actually pretty cool, right? So they look at a more long-term basis, right, instead of a short-term basis, right? So like a lot of Western companies have done, I guess, nowadays. So yeah, Nintendo continues to do things that other companies don't, right? Especially when Iwata, the legendary Iwata, was the president and stuff like that. He essentially gave his pay, like a part of his pay, to the people who worked on the Wii U because of its failing performance, right? So even though it wasn't making enough money, like he made up for it. So he just that's those things coming out from Nintendo Japan, that's something that's still good to see. Like that's awesome to see that. So any comments you wanted to you have for this situation?
Well, this might be my unexpertise on Japanese what's it called, work environment.
Yeah.
I never heard of a Japanese company giving raise.
Right.
It was always like a flat this is how much you're gonna be paid.
I've heard stuff about Japan's work ethics, like they don't have like as much work sick days, right, as we do here. There's a bit of a trade-off. So like obviously work ethics in Japan are different, right? They're not entirely the same, obviously, just from looking at the pay raise here. So, but like the stress that you get from working in Japan is definitely something else, right? So it you know, well, we're not gonna go into that, but it's
we're
it's
not jumping into that.
yeah,
But
right, but it's quite something. Let's just put it that way. And
yeah.
so to see something like this, yeah, it is interesting. But you know, you can also question, like, is there a catch to that? You know, is there a reason why? You know, like, or what happens if that comes up? You know, is are there vacation days reduced? Are there sick days even reduced even more? Like, you know, so or do you even have sick days in the first place? I've heard like some workplaces in Japan don't even have sick days. It's like, yo, well, you want to take a day off of work? Well, you're sure out of luck when it comes to pay. So I mean, that says that's the catch, I guess, maybe. But I don't know. I don't live in the place, so I can't really say 100%. But what I know for sure is that it's quite stressful. So it's they're very hardworking people to the point where they're working too hard, you know, and so that's going to create a lot of stress. You know, it's just kind of like the ethics of Japan. You know, that's just how it works, right? That's what it's like. That's the culture, you know. So,
Yep.
But anyways, just looking at this, right? This headline here, I think that's a W. So, but this is of course in Japan. This isn't like this doesn't translate to Nintendo of America stuff too. So, you know, just in Japan. So makes me wonder though. I mean, would that also eventually kind of carry over to Nintendo of America stuff too? Like, or you know, because this is just America, they're not gonna do anything about that, right? It's like their own separate thing when it comes to pay and stuff like that. You know, they might treat their employees the American way, so they're not gonna give them the Japanese way, you know, that sort of thing. I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yep.
So, let me see anything else. Oh yeah, so there's some new posters that were coming out from the movie, right? Super Mario movie. So you have DK right here, smashing the barrels, and then one of the recent ones too. You have Bowser holding the star, and then you have one with Toad, and then yeah, I saw this one too on Twitter. Bowser like kind of raising the morale for his army, you know, along with
It's so funny.
yeah.
The movie's called Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more freaking push for Bowser.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Is he the underlying hero of the movie?
Right?
Like, is Mario the actual villain?
Villain? Yeah, right. I don't know, man.
And then I'm also looking at Nintendo and Illuminations. Like, you guys are opening a door that you don't want to open up.
Hmm.
Don't blame me if you're gonna see a lot more suggestive pictures of Bowser. It's like, don't blame us.
Yeah,
It's like, you opened it.
right. And did you see this little short right here? It's like a commercial for the plumbing, whatever stuff for Mario and Luigi. Yeah, so
I did. Did you?
yes, I did. So I'm not gonna play here because you know we never know. It may get claimed by whatever, right? Whoever is under the by Universal, right?
Oh,
But what did you think of it?
This commercial, everybody, is singing or playing homage to the old Super Mario TV show.
Yes.
And yes, the voice actress for the woman was the original Princess Peach or Princess Toadstool of the show.
Yeah. That's what I heard about that.
More hilarious.
Yep.
So it's a good homage to like its roots in American culture.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it
So
was
I
pretty
wonder
cool.
if that's how it's gonna open the movie. They play the commercial.
I think honestly this is probably the intro for the movie. Yeah, I can definitely see that. So that it just shows like what Mario and Luigi did before these present events, or so after that Luigi gets kidnapped for whatever reason by Bowser or whatever. So yeah, I mean that's probably how it's gonna go. But I thought it was pretty funny, the whole like um yeah, I like the part when she was like reading the line, like you can like she was like reading the line like what Right?
You know, she's like, the only thing that you're not draining is my bank account. What the fuck?
Yeah, there you go.
Even I would be like, draining my bank. What?
Yeah, yeah. And then the screenshot of Mario in the van with Luigi, kind of like that with that look, right? It looks like they're like ordering something from the fast food like window or whatever. So they have those meme pictures of like Mario and then Mario and Luigi, and then the next one on Twitter is like a picture of Tails when he was in that McDonald's commercial. So it's like that weird like sort of thing. But yeah, it was pretty cute overall. I think it was pretty funny, and like you said, like it's paying nice homage to the classic TV show of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show from it was pretty much in the 90s, right? Like 89/90s. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's nice. And then meanwhile, I know it's not on the docket, but I believe the Nintendo Land portion of Universal Studios is now opened. So here in the States, so or at least in California. So yeah, that also opened very recently. I think in fact yesterday, as we record this, they even had like a live stream opening and everything. So strangely they had a live stream opening at 8 o'clock at night. So rather than the daytime, but I guess I don't know. I guess the nighttime complements the lights or something. I don't know, but um,
Did you speaking of the Nintendo World in Universal, did you hear or read about like how a lot of go guest goers are actually pissed off at some of the rides?
oh, I heard one where there was like a person who couldn't even like fit into the
Yeah,
car. Yeah, yeah.
into the cart, and it's like, well, one, this whole area was pretty much imported from Japan. So
Looks like they did only look at the blueprints in Japan, right, from the Japanese blueprints,
yeah,
rather than modifying it, for American standards.
yeah, for American American citizens.
Yes, because we're
We
fat.
come in
Yeah.
all. I was gonna say we all come in shape and sizes, but damn, this man just went for the jugular.
I just went for it, man. I just went straight for the goalpost.
But I'm strategically jumping. This man over here just
I
going
just-
zoop.
Nah, we're just fat. I think that's just what it is, man. We Americans, I guess, we're fat. So
We are, well, some of us, but shit. At least, like, let us ease into it, not just slam us into the damn wall.
I mean, the whole world. That's how the whole world stereotypes us Americans. We're fat. I guess. Still, even to this day, but that's just how it goes. You know. But yes, we come in various shapes and sizes, and that deters us from experiencing said rides. So yeah, that's unfortunate though that did occur. Was there anything else that happened, or was that like the particular one you wanted to mention? That was the one incident, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But well, there's others. And like
Right.
some people say it's lackluster because there's so much to do in there. But I'm like, look at Japan. People are having fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a full fucking Nintendo theme park or anything. So it's just a
Like
section.
I think they didn't. Yeah, didn't they say this was like phase one? Like even
Yeah.
phase two in Japan is still in blueprint territory. They're
Mm-hmm.
not ready.
Yeah, I
All
thought
we know is that Phase 2 in Japan is Donkey Kong Land.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah,
They
but you
did
see,
they did talk about
kids,
that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see.
if they make a you know a Pokemon section in the Nintendo world,
Mm-hmm.
this man over here is going to be disappearing like every weekend to make sure he gets all the Gengar
That
shit in there.
that depends
And
on when when that will be constructed,
yeah,
right?
when that happened, yeah.
Right, and if
And you see
even
all that
I,
section
hmm
behind him, that's just going to be filled with Gengar.
you can kind of see over there, just that one Gengar hanging out.
And,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
that one Gengar is going to have
Yeah,
friends
I know.
when
Yeah,
that time
right. With
happens.
multiple Gengars and maybe like Haunters and Ghastly. So yeah, but it's always gonna be.
I'm still surprised he still doesn't have the Gengar head pillow thing.
Oh yeah, the long tongue one.
Tongue, yeah.
I kind of want
Which
the squish marshmallow one, but it's been like people have been scalping that one of all things. So
I still don't know where would you put that. The Gengar
oh
stuff.
the tongue one. I don't
Head
know.
pillow, yeah. Like, do you just like go out in your living room, plop it right there on the floor, and just stick your head? So when your family just comes home from like work and stuff, they just see you just lying there going like,
Yeah, my honestly, I think my dog would get more mileage out of the pillow than anything, than anyone else, even me.
I do want to get the Snorlax pillow,
The big one, yeah.
because there's a section of the house that I think I will just throw it there and be like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, just have a nap corner or something, right, in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, but then my boyfriend's gonna be like, wow, you bought that? It's like, yes. How much did it cost you?
Is that
What do
like
you mean
300
how
bucks
much
or
it
something?
costs? Something like that. But I'll be like, what do you mean how much it costs me? You mean how much it cost you?
Damn. That
You paid half.
so yeah. So a number of things has been going on with Nintendo. Unfortunately for the price tag, yes. But other things, it's been building up like the Super Mario movie, Nintendo Land or Nintendo World just came out, and then we'll see where that goes, right? So, but the price tag one, yeah, but
This is the good question to bring up with the movie again.
yes,
You're not gonna watch it in theaters yet, right?
no,
Okay. This is not the winning movie.
no,
Yet for
no,
him.
no, I know.
I'll bite the bullet. I will go for
Okay,
in your stead.
okay.
Just like how was it? Next week I will go and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Quantumania. Oh, cool. Okay.
I don't know why I said it like that. Quantumania.
Quantumania. It's Mario, man. That's what I'm telling you. He's slowly taking over the world. Probably Nintendo's gonna buy out Disney at some point. No, that's not gonna happen. It's more like the other way around.
Or like that. Or no. More like a good partnership until someone, croaks.
Yeah, right. I mean, look what happened with Smash Brothers, right? It took a long time to get Sora in that game because how much negotiating Disney wanted with the licensing and stuff like that. Like they didn't even get everything in there, right? Because like even some of the logos, right, had to get taken off because they didn't completely get all the Disney stuff in there. But anyway, that's a separate discussion. So yeah, Nintendo. That's pretty much it for that bit. So we'll see where that goes, including the price point. But we'll see. Definitely, we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right. So meanwhile, in other games, Respawn just came out with the newest update for Apex Legends, and I did take a gander at that. And TDM is all right now, but it's weird because On the day it came out, me and the guys were playing it, and pretty much we were, even though the game is supposed to be 6v6, we were thrown into a 3v3 match, and this TDM still has the rounds, right? So just like an arena, so you have to go through the 30 kills, which takes a long time because it was only 3 people, and then you have to do another round. It's like, oh fuck, man. And then even with the full lobby, there's still the rounds, right? So you still have to do the 30 kills and then another 30 kills. So what they're doing now, I guess it wasn't quite working, right? Obviously, because it took a long time. So Respawn came out with a quick update or a quick statement saying, "Hey Legends, we're ecstatic about your love for TDM following Revelries, launch. We've also heard your early feedback and are making some changes. We realize having 3 rounds made matches to feel too long." Oh yeah, definitely. "Starting now, matches will just be 1 round with the removal of multiple rounds. We've also increased the kill count required to win games from 30 to 50, so that's fair. As a note, the UI will be inaccurate until updated to reflect this change at a later date. Some quality of life improvements that are still to come, which is ending the match with when one team completely leaves, so the remaining team wins." Okay, so yeah, adding a penalty for abandoning matches similar to the penalty in Control. So yeah, so obviously there are people leaving whenever they get overwhelmed, so they're trying to, I guess, prevent that a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, pretty much it's potentially 90 kills, right? Because of, you do a 30, right? You win, you do another 30. If they win, you have to do it again, so it's another 30 kills. So yeah, 90 kills right altogether. God damn, man, that is pretty fucking long, ain't it? So that's why they're just making it just 50 kills. That's it. That's fine. I'm all for that. So you haven't touched the TDM stuff, right? So not just okay.
Or I haven't touched Apex in general.
Right.
Oh, for the new update, because I don't know.
Now, you were asking earlier, how does it feel, right? I didn't play the battle royale with the boys, but I did play it by myself, and with randos, right? And it doesn't feel too drastic, right? Obviously there are differences, right? With the weapon crates being open only by the assault people, right? The assault units, and then there's the extra medic compartments that you can open with supports, right? I haven't tried out the banner crafting thing. I've only picked some units, or heroes, I should say. So I didn't really get to feel all the effects or whatever. But the survey beacon was kind of annoying because they can track us down now, right? So they know where we are. So that was kind of annoying to deal with. I haven't done that myself, but that was annoying to even have that fact to deal with. And then so it is something, but it's not super drastic overall. So it's not like this huge change that you feel. It's more of a visual thing, you know what I mean? So no one really cares about oh, pick fucking support because we already have an assault and the whatever, right? It's not like Overwatch types of go, you pick tank or something, you know what I mean? That type of stuff, just pick whoever, man, and then that's what you're dealing with. So I think we're just so used to just picking the hero we want and then just stick with it that no one really cares still. And yeah, hey, if we have extra scouts, okay, that's great. If we have two supports, great, whatever, that's kind of just the thing. I haven't picked Seer and Bloodhound just yet because I've been just picking other heroes for the sake of the battle pass for right now, but like because those two I think got like drastic changes because like the fact that if they went with the same sort of stats, they would have been really good scouts. Let's just put it that way, right? So that's why they had to like get nerfed quite a bit for the sake of these scouts. But other than that, it's still Apex. It's still more or less the same, but it's got enough changes to make it a little interesting, but without like losing sort of like why we're here for Apex. You know what I mean? So not necessarily it's a pretty mild change, I would say overall. Maybe like in the long term, we'll feel more of the effects, right? And this is just day one impressions. So just take that into note or account. But yeah, essentially that is the gist of it. But TDM, I like TDM. It's more consumable. I don't like arena. Just feels like more sweaty shit. You know what I mean? So, but with TDM, just gonna go in there, get your kills. That's it, right? And it counts towards the battle pass. So that's actually pretty cool. Now, yes, this will be rotating between Control and all the other modes that come out for this season as well. So, but for right now, TDM is the mode for 2 weeks, and then that's pretty much it. It'll like rotate between other stuff too, I think. Don't quote me on that. When it comes to the Nemesis, quite good. Yeah, I like the Nemesis. Pretty cool. You do have to rev it up, so it's really slow. But once you get it all revved up, because that's what the effect is, it does shoot quite fast, and yeah, kind of a fun gun to use. But so yeah, you'll constantly hear the Nemesis burst fire and TDM because that's what's everyone's picking right now because everyone wants to pick their new thing. But also it's pretty good, so yeah, or at least fun to use, I would say. I kind of like it. So, other than that, I thought Valkyrie was gonna get nerfed, but I guess she didn't get nerfed. She still has her like pinging stuff right when she's skydiving. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I picked Valkyrie because of the battle pass achievements or whatever, like the stars or whatever. So, I thought they were gonna nerf her, but I guess not. So I guess they didn't do it. Anything else? When it comes to the maps, I don't really have much of an impression just because I didn't play much of the new map stuff yet, so can't really say much. But I do know that they do have a storm point back in there, so you do have the party boat or whatever you call it with Mirage somewhere in there. So yeah, I haven't tried that out just yet. So yeah. The TDM stuff when it comes to maps, it's okay. It's like a lot of the new stuff, or not. Sorry, it's a lot of the old stuff from Arena, kind of like merged into here, and a lot of those maps are too big. So you're gonna have you're gonna like running across the map, and then of course people who like make their station kind of like just try to snipe you down, pick you off or something, And what's funny? If you're Rampart, when you bust out Shiva, that thing has infinite ammo because the ammo is infinite for everything else. So Shiva, you just unleash Shiva pretty much almost every time. So it's pretty stupid that they didn't take that into account. But so yeah, that's why you might see a number of Ramparts if they haven't caught on just yet. So I was like, oh, I have infinite ammo, so I can just reload. I mean, it does take a long time to reload, granted, but
yeah,
you have all the ammo you want. So it's like reload. So yeah, but I'm still gonna play it here and there. It's still my BR to go to, so it doesn't really change that much in that fact. Yeah, so that is the gist of that one for Apex Legends. I don't know if any of that enticed you to come back any further, but yeah, that's that's just how I feel about it for right now. All right, so Other quick bits of news. Let's get to that. Overwatch. There was we had that One Punch Man collaboration, right? You know, or still coming, but it was announced nonetheless. And according to Overwatch Cavalry, the Overwatch team are planning more collaborations and aim to get better at it each time. Okay, well, we'll hold you up to that, Overwatch team. So hopefully they'll deliver. And if you noticed, they also did one more thing from One Punch Man. Let me try to scroll down to see, but where was it? I thought it was funny because remember you suggested Moomin Rider for Genji? So there was a I guess a Moomin Rider costume for Soldier 76, but guess what? Apparently, it's just a modified version of this costume. So if you look at the difference, right? If you look at the armor, that's yeah. So that is, I thought, pretty funny. But I think this is legit anyway. But anyway, if it's a joke, then well, that's still pretty funny because someone made a comment. It's like, oh, this skin is a unlicensed version of Kamen Rider. Well, there you go. There's unlicensed Rider right here. This is kind of a little bit of a funny pun there, but I mean, I don't know. What do you think of Moomin Rider for Soldier 76?
Still think it should have been on Genji.
Yeah, for sure. You did what you did get one thing right, which is Moomin Rider. Yeah, but it's on the wrong person. So I guess that's something.
Like, goddamn soldier, stop cosplaying as as Moomin Rider.
Yeah. Okay, so oh yeah. Yeah, so I think it is legit because this was in the same poster or whatever for all the other like rewards you can get from logging in and all that stuff, right? Playing the game, getting the battle pass stuff done. So Moomin Rider will be thrown into that, I guess, as a free legendary skin. And yeah, so it's an earnable legendary skin, I guess, from doing some rewards and stuff like that, starting from March 7th. So we still have kind of a ways away. So, but yeah, we're just getting One Punch Man and the Moomin Rider for right now. I don't know if they'll have more. I don't expect that, but it's just what it is for right now. But it's just so funny that they just basically reskinned the Bug Hero skin, or basically the Kamen Rider skin, repackaged and everything. So no wonder it's gonna be a free legendary skin because the amount of effort put into it. I mean, at least they got the helmet and whatever stuff right, so they got that part. Yeah. You can even kind of tell with the belt and everything too. The belt looks very similar, the shapes. You know, armor. That's enough. You know, like I said, that's like it's not even. It's unapologetically the same thing. Let's look at the little like the cuff links or whatever on the where your elbow is, right? Look at the like the 3 rings or whatever. You can definitely see that. It's the same exact carbon copy, right? So that definitely tells you of how much work was put into this skin. It is clever. I'll give him that, but yeah.
I mean, it's like that old saying, you know, work smarter, not harder. So
Yeah.
the asset is already there. Then just tweak them.
Yeah, tweak it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, as from a developer side of things, pretty clever. I get it. So anyway, next up on the games news. So you know how in Japan they like to make things into girls, right? So like ship girls, you have like um guns turn into girls, right? In some games. So you have like Azure Lane, you have content collection for ship girls, right? And then you have girls frontline for gun girls. This one, apparently, according to Kotaku anyway, there's going to be a, I guess, new game from Yoko Taro, and it'll turn Sega games into women. Sega classics to be more specific. So there's going to be Virtual Fighter Girl, there's going to be Sakura Wars Girl, I guess, blah blah blah, which is kind of weird, which is kind of redundant because isn't Sakura Wars all about
already.
right? It's all about the girls, right? Yeah. I guess it's a upcoming Android iOS game called 404 Game Reset, where in which you fight alongside waifu versions of Sega games against a corrupt alternate version of Sega. Okay, so sorry, what were you saying?
It's like, okay, as you saying that, it's pretty much they're just turning everybody in, mostly everything into girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yet here we have Fate Go going like this.
Right, like
just waving like, we've been doing that for like years.
Right, of course.
Hey, King Arthur, come over here.
Right.
Show everybody who you is.
Right. Having historical figures and turn into pretty much women, right? Mostly. You don't have the female historical figures turn into males, right? I think that's been a very rare instance, or even not an instance at all, right? So yeah. You hardly ever see that, if at all. So it's mostly male to female, which is kind of funny. But I get it. Waifu sell. That's the thing. So yeah.
Let's see. Waifu sells for everyone else.
Yes.
Bando sells.
Right. You have the few, right? I mean, at least they're doing something with that demographic, but still, like mostly it's all about the waifus because men want they see it as men want to be with them, and women want to be them, sort of thing. That's how they see it. That's why waifus sell, and you see you kind of see it, right? Because the female cosplayers, of course, like to cosplay as the female sort of incarnations of whatever character, right? So that's just how it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's this whole like making things into girls has been a thing for a very long time. Even there was, I mean, and if you're talking about like just games, right? In general, like games themselves turn into girls, that's also not entirely new because you have Neptunia Hyper Dimension. If anyone remembers that game, that turns video game consoles into girls. So you have the PS3, you have the Xbox, and you even have the Wii as sort of waifu sort of thing. So that's also been a thing. So it's not entirely new. And I also think, in fact, Neptunia is also from Sega, but I could be wrong. Hold on. Neptunia. Let me just see. Who publishes it? I forget. For I think in America it is. Oh, it was formerly Koei Tecmo. Okay, so right now it's another company, but I forget who is the big company who owns or has the rights to Neptunia. I thought it was Sega, but let me see. Compile hard. Let me search. Doesn't say here. Oh no. When it comes to Puyo Puyo series, they make the Puyo Puyo stuff, I guess. It remains a property of Sega. Okay. So I guess there's some correlation, I guess, with Sega. So it's just kind of funny. I guess so. I guess it does make sense still. Ideal Factory. I think that's the other one, right? Let's see. That one doesn't say anything. So, Uh, yeah, doesn't quite say anything about whether it's like Sega or whatever. I guess it goes back and forth with Idea Factory and Compile Heart. It depends on what it is. But anyway, point being, not a new thing, right? So not entirely new. It's just kind of repackaged to something else, I believe. And this is going to be a mobile game, so that's going to be lovely for the gotcha gamers, right? So one more thing on the live service side of things. And you know what? Speaking of live service, what do you know? Look at what's on the next thing. Multiversus. I wanted to bring this up because Multiversus has had a drastic decrease in numbers of daily players, which has been its peak player count on Steam, dropped more than 99% since launch. Okay. I mean that while that sounds true, I feel like this is this is only for Steam. That's the one thing you gotta remember, right? So what about the consoles? And I feel like that's where most of the player base is still there, right? So while yeah, I mean it is saying something that content has been dry, it's been not going anywhere too much when it comes to that. You still I believe you still have the console players kind of like holding up the sort of structure or foundation or whatever. So I think it's still okay. But yeah, just the fact that this game has not been getting anything else really for this season, because there's only been one character. It's just the Marvin the Martian or whatever. So there's only been one character in that entire season. Because the first season had Rick and Morty, Gizmo, and Stripe from Gremlins, and then you have Black Adam. I guess that was still considered part of season 1. But as of season 2, it's only been Marvin the Martian. So that's been quite dry in comparison. So yeah, and then I guess season 3 was pushed back all the way to March 31st when it was supposed to come out just recently, but they pushed that back to all the way to March. So right now it seems to be kind of shaky when it comes to development time or whatever it is, content sort of distribution. Yeah, so on the surface it does look like the live service is dying down for Multiversus. And and then we've had the news of like all those live service games kind of shutting down or it's going to shut down, right? So people saw this as like, oh, this is gonna be another game shutting down because live service sucks, blah blah blah, But I think it is a bit of a bait for this article anyway. While yes, it is true that I guess that the Steam side of things is lower, that'll mean the game itself is dying just because Steam numbers aren't as high. It doesn't even include at all the console side of things. It just exclusively just talks about Steam numbers. So I think overall this is just bait. Like I said, there is some grain of truth to that, but it just leaves out the console numbers completely. So it's like, what is that saying really? So is it really dying or is it just boring right now? Yeah, I mean, it might be some decrease in numbers, but does that mean it's like drastically bad? I don't know about that. I haven't played it myself, granted, because there is really nothing else going on right now. But I don't think it's enough to be like, oh my god, it's going to die or whatever. So, but okay, so let's just talk about the actual number itself, though. It dipped below 1,000, and according to Steam DB, I guess it hit a peak of 986 on Monday, as of this article being written or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that does sound low, but what if that was just like the one time, right? What if this was like the peak at I don't know 3 a.m. or something, right? Like they could have just taken this time at a really dead time, You know what I mean? Like when people are asleep or whatever, and then just take that number and be like, oh, this is the number, right? You know? They didn't say like, oh, at the highest peak, during the highest time or whatever, this is the number. It just kind of just says, oh, here's the number, right? On Monday. Right? So, and it's Monday. Like, people are working, you know, and they're coming home from work, probably too tired, and that's that. What if the peak is higher like on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know what I mean? So, I think there's a bit of like that sort of like um I guess leaving out things to bait something, right? So it's a bit of like that typical journalism that we see, right? That changes around things to help make up headline and be clickbait in a way. We'll see. I don't know. You have any comments about this or not really?
I mean, from the looks of it, you know, I'm sorry, Multiversus. It's a. I want to say it's in its dry spell right now because yeah, they only had Marvin the Martian. Like,
Right.
where's the rest?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there anything really, you know, for people to just come back to play it a bit?
There really isn't, so
Yeah. Should have There should have been kind of like maybe an event, you know, like a special like 3-week event. You complete these challenges, and lo and behold, you get you know these skins, these
yeah, there's no
other
Valentine's
stuff.
special. Yeah. First off, there's no like event exclusive skin or anything like that. See, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't come out with like a the TV the HBO Velma, right? The HBO series Velma. They didn't come out with that skin, right? To
Jesus Christ! I think a lot of people would drop the game if that happened.
would they? Or they want to rock the costume to piss off other people, right? You know? But
50-50.
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't entertain the thought even, right? So, I mean, what do I know, right? But but nonetheless, yeah. I mean, you kind of put it best. It's in a dry spell, and there's really nothing else going on. So it's like, why why not even have an event, right? Like, Overwatch is doing a Valentine's event. They've been doing Valentine's, right? I think in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. On top of like Chinese New Year and all that stuff, and like, whatchamacall. So yeah, so I'm surprised like Multiversus hasn't done really anything at all. Like not even like a banner or like a profile thing they can add on to your thing, right? So nothing. There's really nothing to come back to. There's no reason to play right now. So yeah, of course, there's an article like this coming out. I mean, it's just okay. That's just what it is, Um, I think right now they're just kind of like having just updates or just patches, right? Including in case there's bugs or whatever it is, right? So I think that's the situation of it. So I think it's okay for right now. It'll come back, I'm sure, to an extent at some point. It'll come out with more characters, and they want to make sure those are running good, I guess, once they come out. They don't want to like break the balance or anything like that. That's always like not a fun time. So I'm sure they're taking their time, but yeah, when it comes to maintaining a live service game, that's very difficult because it's free to play. You want to have players a reason to come back to, right? So that's why it's just you would think it would be like instant cash, but it's not. You gotta actually work harder in a way to make a live service game than you would with a single player game or whatever, right? Like a typical traditional game, because you don't have to like keep updating the game. Just make a game, leave it out there, and people will buy it, right? If it's good. Just make a good game, people will buy it. But if you make a game that's like, yeah, free to play, but then if you just leave them out in that dry spell, it's like, well, I'm not gonna fucking play it because there's nothing to do, and there's nothing for me to spend money on right now. So, well, that's gonna go. The game's gonna die eventually if you don't keep up with the updating, such like that. So that's why, that's why a lot of these gotcha games, right? They all look simplistic, right? So, they're a lot of them are turn based. They could be 2D graphics, right? They could be cell shaded or whatever. That's why you have Genshin Impact being so popular, because it's not like that. It's not that simple looking, and it's got that beautiful graphics, stylish graphics, and it's continuously updating for what it is, right? There's always some sort of story coming out. There's always some sort of event coming out, and I think they're doing a good job with that stuff in that instance. But I think they still need to put a end game kind of content, right? But anyway, with the battle content, but that's my opinion. But anyway, back to here. If you don't follow up on your live service, then yeah, of course you're gonna meet some consequences, including having to shut down, and it sucks. I get again, because those live service games could be really fun, but those sort of fun gameplay won't pop up in another game again, because that idea's already been burned. So yeah, again, that's why live service games kind of suck, in a way, in those regards. So and on top of that, there's too many of them. It's an oversaturation of the live service thing, because again, they think it's an easy cash grab. It's not. It's really not. You gotta have people constantly working on the game, is the thing. Versus, yeah, you have workers constantly working on this game, but then there will be a point where they can stop, right? And then you have the passive income at that point, right? Potentially, if you make a good game, if people really like the game, people will keep buying it, right? They'll have the people be like, oh, now I can buy this game because I have the time in the world now, right? If they don't buy on day one, they'll just keep buying it. That's why you see this like steady income, right? When it comes to people who want live service in their games, they just want that short-term cash flow. They want to just have that, oh, millions of players are playing this game right now, that sort of thing. This is how the world works right now when it comes to this stuff, which is a shame, because it really taints the essence of game development. And we're seeing that with Marvel's Avengers, right? I mean, that game is supposed to be just a single player game, and look what happened, right? So I don't want to get in that again, because we've covered that last time, or recently, I guess you could say. And then we're gonna have another game that's doing that with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I guarantee you it's gonna go the same exact way. Maybe even worse, because it's already happened once with Avengers. People are gonna catch on faster and be like, no, I'm not gonna deal with this. So damn shame. But at least that game is coming out in May, so I have Zelda to hold myself over. So I'm unfortunately not gonna put my money into Suicide Squad. But that's just me, right? So
yeah.
Anyways, did you want anything to comment on when it comes to live service in general? Anything you want to get out of your chest, or not really? Or are you good? You Gucci?
Not every game it should have the live service model.
Oh yeah,
as an end game.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Suicide Squad, that should better be out of that game by the time it comes out.
Yeah, one can wonder, why did that game get delayed? Probably because someone was like, "Hey, we kind of
what the fuck is this?"
Yeah. Hey, there's that live service thing that looks really cool, so we should put that into the game. So make it so that the players have a reason to put more money into it and have to, keep putting money into it even though they bought the game, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure the grinding is gonna be a nightmare. So there's gonna be like, oh, there's a store to help shortcut that. Because I think even Gotham Knights got that sort of stuff too, unfortunately. So, anyways, I think that's enough about live service ranting again. Let's talk about the rest of the stuff. Let's wrap it up with some movies, streaming, anime, and more type of news. There was a bit of an update, a little bit, somewhat, with the Netflix password sharing situation. So Netflix is launching their anti-password sharing in some countries. So oh god, this music. So what I can tell from the flags, that's Australia, right? That's Canada, obviously. I think below Canada, that's Spain. I forget. And then there's this flag below Australia. I don't know my flags of their various countries. So, yeah, that's unfortunate that Australia, of course, and Canada is one of them. So that's like one of the English-speaking countries that are, getting this sort of policy thrown at them. They're like the guinea pigs, I guess. And then let me see. It says here, according to Dexerto, if subscribers want to allow users outside their home from using the Netflix account, they have to pay a fee between $4 or $7, or between $4 and $7. Jesus Christ. So stupid, right? So, I'm still having my account on pause. I'm really not gonna deal with Netflix until there is a reason for me to watch something. Maybe the One Piece thing, or maybe when Sonic Prime comes back with more episodes. But other than that, I have it on pause right now. There's no reason for me to keep paying it like it's nothing. And even my sister I'm sharing my account with, right? She says she's not watching anything, so yeah. So not much, not a loss at all. So yeah. What about you? Are you still like active with Netflix right now, or not really? So?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an anime that I'm slowly kind of wanna watch now.
Oh, right. There's Gamma and stuff. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, Camera. But I've been seeing a lot on my YouTube feed for Records Ragnarok. Don't know why it's showing up on my YouTube. I never,
Okay.
So now it's looking interesting. So it's like, maybe let's see what's this.
What the hubbub is about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for Netflix, I don't know. It's like you're stepping on eggshells at this point.
Yeah. I like that the fucking like how they responded. It was a mistake, right? Oops. Pretty much. But
I
yeah.
mean, we called it.
Yeah, we pretty much did. Yeah.
They pretty much did the whole South Park. We're sorry.
Not even, right? Like they didn't even say sorry. They're just like, oops.
I know.
So I think that's kind of worse, honestly.
I mean, same thing. We're oops.
Yeah, we're oops. Yeah. We're stupid.
We don't know how that got there.
Yeah.
What?
Right. Not even pretending to own up to the fact that happened. So whatever. But pretending that it's a mistake. My ass is a mistake. Yeah. Mistake my ass. Anyways, there's also another mistake potentially coming in, which is the Velma series, right, on HBO, potentially getting a season 2, I guess. According to, I guess, Discussing Film anyway. There's not really much else to go off of, but the fact, I guess, they're tweeting, oh, season 2 is in the works at HBO Max, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched the series myself at all. I'm not gonna really bother to. So I don't know if you have a comment on this in particular. Other than that, this was a mistake. Definitely. I mean, it's basically like a political piece by that one actress who played that one chick from The Office, I feel. And that's essentially it, man. That's just what it is. Using Scooby-Doo as like
a platform.
As a platform, yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that at all.
Yeah.
Alrighty, one last thing. Quick little bit right here, and it is regarding to the new Pokemon anime that's coming up with the new 2 protagonists. It is slated to come out for April April 14th, so of this year, of course. I guess the Ash stuff is still happening, so I guess like the last episodes are still happening for Ash. It's still going, I guess. But yeah, I think it's starting to wrap up for sure. But when it comes to the West, there's no release date for that. This release date, you have to remember, this is for Japan, of course. And there is a bit of a video. I mean, it's not really much, but it's just a... So it's just basically saying like, oh, here are the 2 protagonists, and here's one of them, which is Riko, I believe, and then she has some sort of mysterious emblem or pendant or whatever necklace thing, and so we don't know what will unfold for her destiny or whatever. So that's pretty much the translation or the rough translation I can provide for this little video right here. You do see, yes, some of the close-ups of the character, right? You do see like the reference sheet kind of onto the side. And, you know, she got the little sling backpack in the front, and you kind of get an idea of what she kind of looks like while standing, you know. So, but the hairpin, man, that's the same symbol as the symbol on Ash's hat. So, what is that saying? So you kind of have the
he's Satoshi and Gary's I don't know his Japanese
oh
name.
Shigeru, yeah.
That's their child.
So they yeah, okay.
They married.
Yes.
They fucking.
They got busy, as Syndrome would say, the way he was doing this. What?
That would be us holding Ash and Gary. Yeah. We got busy.
Yeah. Dude, that scene was so funny. I remember that scene being so funny, man. Wait, you got together with Elastigirl, and you got busy and got busy. But when you saw the kids, oh man, yeah, that was fun.
Now you see Disney and Square. Instead of whatever shit that you pulled in 3, you could have had gold with The Incredibles as a world. But nope. You guys just wanted to replay fucking Frozen for like the 6,000th time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand people saying that Kingdom Hearts 3 was a masterpiece. It was not.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
but what? Or maybe she's a fan. Everybody.
She's a fan. Probably a fan of Ash. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to be like Ash. It's like, please don't. Why? Just don't.
He's a champion.
I don't fucking care.
World champion.
He's the champion. It's like, she'd be like, but he's the champion. Yeah, but James is a better trainer.
Yeah, that's debatable, but all right. Anyway, I mean,
James actually sacrifices ass to save his Pokemon. What did Ash do?
So does Ash.
He released them. He releases them.
Yes, there is
He
that.
never fucking
There is that.
he never visit all his other Pokemons that he promised to. Hmm. Try
I think he
again, girl.
visited Butterfree, and of course your typical Pokemon like Squirtle, and then you have Charizard, and then Venusaur came into play.
Well, Charizard cheats. He visits
Him,
Ash.
yeah, he visits him. Yeah, right.
And then with the Butterfree thing, it's like, wait, didn't the Pokédex said that when Butterfree mates, they die?
Yeah. So maybe they didn't mate yet. They're gonna,
Maybe that Butterfree that Hash's Butterfree, ended up with cheated on him.
oh,
I'll be like,
yep, yep. Yeah, probably like lost interest or something, right? So
Ash still hasn't visited his Pidgeot after he said, "I will come visit you. Just keep all
yeah, I
these
don't know. I mean, it's still going.
Pidgeys, Pidgeys safe." It's like
Yeah.
X to doubt.
But what if it but what if in the Japanese or the original dub I should say he didn't say he's gonna come back, but in the English dub they just made him say he's gonna come back. You know what I mean? So I never watched that episode in Japanese, so
There's always that loss of translation.
yeah, exactly. So there could have been that. Like he maybe in the Japanese one he just says like they just goodbye completely. But because you know how English dubbing goes, right? So just throw in stuff that to make things interesting, like
For kids.
for
For
kids.
kids dubbing.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a joy back in the day.
Yeah. What a time, right? Yeah, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh! And
We can go on about for kids dubbing. For early 90s dubbing.
right. I mean,
Wow, look at Sailor Moon. Yeah, these two are cousins. They really love each other.
wait,
It's like,
I don't think that was for kids. That was Saban. I don't think
Sailor
that
Moon?
that was Saban, I believe.
Saying like in general, 90s
Oh,
dubbing
yeah,
was
okay.
lovely.
Yeah. Okay.
These are cousins. They really like each other. Oh, that's cute. Watches the Japanese version. Oh,
Yeah. Yes. 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 I mean,
more funny was
I-
car.
car characters, yeah.
Yeah, Car Captors was more funny. I keep forgetting Julian's Japanese name.
Oh, right.
And then there's Sakura's brother.
Brother, yeah. It's like Tomo something. I forget what it was. Yeah,
Tamura or something.
yeah
but it
something
was
like that.
Why are you guys always in your room locked up? It's like, yeah, they're just friends.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese version. No, they're boyfriends.
Yeah.
They lock the doors for good reasons. Like,
Yeah.
and then when you find out like who are the makers of Cardcaptor Clamp, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. They kind of they like to play around with that BL stuff, the boy love stuff, you know. But back on it here. I mean, I think your assumptions make the most sense. I think she's just a fan, right, of Ash, because there's I think one of the recent episodes, Ash, Misty, and Brock are kind of like walking around, and then the kids are like, "Oh my God, it's Ash!" Like they Ash is actually getting the clout now that I guess he deserves. So that's why kids like her are gonna look up to Ash. A few years later, especially later on, and that's why she has a pin, right? So. Yeah.
It's so funny. She has that. How can I be, like a good trainer like you? Oh, just get an overpowered Pikachu that somehow wins every disadvantage.
Yeah.
Like type disadvantage is like
No, he just gives what was it? Was it X special attack or X speed or whatever every single time.
a Volt Tackle. There you go.
Yeah.
Pikachu Volt Tackle is like, please use a different fucking ability.
Or Iron Tail.
I mean, if you notice, like from what Kanto all the way to I want to say the end of Johto, it's always been Thunderbolt or Thundershock, and then the next ones were like, as you said, Iron Tail, and then Volt Tackle all the way up to a certain point. And it's like, Jesus, does Pikachu not know any other moves?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you did bring up Thunder Shock. I do remember that now. Like, oh my god, he did use that attack a lot. What it sounds like
It was
anyway.
pretty much like the end all.
Yeah, and then Volt
Move.
Tackle took over that role. Like he always used that attack to beat Team Rocket, especially. So to send him off, blasting off again. You know. Did they say? Well, I don't know. I guess they haven't said anything about Team Rocket, whether they'll reappear or not. But I mean, if this is what you call like them just traveling around the world, like the new protagonists traveling around the world, I think they'll see Ash at some point. So I think Ash will just have cameos here and there at some point, or maybe Ash will be the kind of like how they treat Panda Man in One Piece, right? So you just have like this random appearance in the background. You know what I mean? Like those, those manga artists always have like those random fucking characters in the background, but they always appear in the background, kind of thing. Like those kind of characters. So you just always see Ash as a background character at some point, kind of just doing nothing but I don't know, loitering or something in the background. Maybe that's what Ash will be at that point. But I do hope that they just have Ash being older. Like, come on, man. It's time for Ash to be grown up or get older or something, man. Like, if they just age him up to, like, what, 15? Okay. I guess that's fine. But, I don't know. Alright. I think that's all we got for this one. It was about a healthy 2 hours. So, unless you have anything else to, like, sort of pepper in before we take off.
Let's see. Do you have anything to say? Ooh. For those that plays gotcha, you spend your money wisely.
Yeah. Of course.
Don't be like this person.
Oh yeah, don't point at me. I'm like, the fuck, man?
I know. I was like, don't be like you.
Don't fucking project your problems onto me, man.
Hey,
You know it's true.
you were there. You were there
I was,
at one, and you got out.
and I got
I'm
out.
still here going like,
I'm just trying to see if there's any like sudden news or something, but other than that, I don't.
sudden death.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Okay, you brought up Smash. It made me remind me of something. The Super Bowl, right? The halftime show with Rihanna, right? The stage, right?
Oh yeah.
It reminded me of Smash. That's like the first thing came up in mind. And what do you know? Someone made a meme about fucking the Smash stage or about the Rihanna stage being a Smash stage. What do you know, right? It's like I knew it's like I knew what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, well, her performance, I'm not mad at it. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
I'm just kind of indifferent about
because,
it.
well, I knew that she was having her, like, I forget, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
Is there a
You know what,
second?
girl?
Is there a second or something or first? I
Yeah,
don't
her
know.
second or
Oh,
something.
okay.
And I was like, you know what, girl? Just try your best. But then when I think about like singers like who are pregnant, I think Beyonce was like doing a lot of like body motions while she was pregnant. I think in one of her performance. But again, I was like,
Right.
it's like you do you. Some people were happy with it, some were not. You and I were just sitting there going like,
Mm-hmm.
"Who's good?"
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Super Bowl, and then there was the some of the news stuff. Oh my gosh, I forgot to have us talk about the Flash trailer. Did you want to?
We have time to go bring it up.
Okay, let's bring it
that
up. All
trailer.
right, let's wrap it up with the Flash trailer or something. Or Yeah, because were there any other trailers? It was just the Ant-Man trailer, and then the
There was Batman,
Flash.
Flash, like anything like worthy,
Mm-hmm.
like from remembrance. Not really.
I'm just gonna mute it so we don't get fucking claimed. But you saw it,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
so
All right, everyone. This is just Flashpoint, told a different way.
right.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts, or whatever. Fuck it, Flashpoint.
Right. And then
Which to me
go ahead.
is a good thing because with James Gunn at the helm, this will be a good like
Transition, yeah.
trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting point. So did you see the roadmap, I guess, for excuse me.
Yeah.
The
It's roadmap. It's
Yeah.
roadmap. I'm interested.
mm-hmm. Okay. And then for this one, it features not just Flash, of course, but like Batman and even like Supergirl at some point, and then
And right there, this one scene, like
right.
I'm like, oh my god, wow, they're really just showing him off right now.
Yeah, and especially you still have that situation right with Miller, with the weird stuff. I guess he's or whatever, like Miller is serving their time with the
sure.
mental health issue stuff. So I guess that's already done. And then there's General Zod, right? And then
From the Snyderverse.
yes,
right?
from the Snyderverse, yes.
Which to me is like it's fine because I don't know, Man of Steel to me is a good Superman movie.
Oh yeah,
except for,
I heard good
whole
things.
Stupid. But this
Yes.
is perfection.
Yes. Yep. So, I mean, at this point, like if I was like a theater
Gonna watch it.
I would go watch it for Batman. I'm not gonna go watch it for Ezra Miller at this point.
That's what I told my friends. It's like the Flash. You can tell this movie is gonna be a big pile of shit. I'm just gonna watch it for Michael Keaton.
Yeah, this is Michael Keaton's
Him
Batman.
him putting back on the cowl was like, okay, you got my interest.
Yeah. Let me at least put the audio on for Batman. Hold on.
I know the Sting audio.
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
Yep.
And then, like this fight sequence. So again, this is Flashpoint. So a lot of people. Oh, also Ben Affleck's Batman. They pulled it off on screen. It's more like towards the end when he's like grappling on the freeway.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I like the costume for Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, it's a good homage to Tim Burton's.
Yeah. Tim Burton's Batman. Oh yeah. So
right there.
The armored Batman or whatever, the weird armored looking.
So
thing.
they somehow made the old color scheme of blue and gray look good on screen.
Right.
So and that's why I'm also watching this movie is just to give Ben Affleck a chance.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, he had no service done to him in Batman vs Superman. There was like no fucking service to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that whole thing with like the video game controversy stuff. Like, oh, I'm gonna boycott this game or whatever. But what about everyone else who worked on the game, right? So not just this person that's terrible, but like what about the other people who aren't terrible but worked on the game, that sort of thing, right? So at that point, if you want to go watch the movie, I'm not gonna judge you, right? So that's, you do what you want with your time, right?
And money,
right? Exactly.
Unless you have people in the theater business just opens the back door and goes, come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well,
Now that I think about it, I should have done that more back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Buy one movie ticket, hide in the bathroom, wait for the next showing, then go into the theater.
Right. Yeah.
And don't judge me. You know, a lot of people did that back
Oh, of
in
course.
the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Which was more funny, like the theater I always went to, there's two levels.
yeah.
There's the ground level and then there's the sub level. For some reason, that particular theater, they hardly sent anybody down to the sub levels auditoriums. So you could have your movie screening there. The movie will be done, but you can just wait in that theater and no one would like show up. And then the next movie would play.
Right. So, yes, obviously we have Ben Affleck, and not only that, of course, we have Michael Keaton with their Batmans, right? So we have multiple Batmans going on, just like we have multiple Flashes, and then we got Supergirl showing up at some point in this trailer too. Yep, right there. This
Superman.
yeah.
It's like the whole stuff. Superman doesn't kill. Well, this isn't Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like if we're looking at it just like a with just like a in the vacuum, right? Like just this alone, right? With don't think about the whole weird instance with Miller and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it looks good, right? You know, for what it is. There's a lot going on. There's,
It looks
yeah. There's a lot going on, you know, there's a lot of good action maybe potentially. But like, you know, because of like the Miller stuff, not to mention like the whole DC sort of like just mess right now, with the cinematic universe and like James Gunn, and then you have the stuff with Henry Cavill and like all that stuff. That does kind of like bog it down a little bit, kind of water it down for me. But you know, hey, if you want to watch the movie, go right ahead. I'm not gonna judge you or anything like that. So I don't blame you, because Batman is fucking awesome. So yeah.
Don't worry, everybody. Hawk here is gonna judge you, but silently.
Don't, hey man, don't project your stuff onto me.
Be like, why are you watching this when you could be watching the Super Mario movie?
So did they say when is this coming out? Let's see. Supergirl in a costume.
Oosh.
Oosh. Okay, so it's June. Okay, so
June.
It
comes out in June.
Yeah, June. Yeah. When is Super Mario also coming out? Is it also in June? Let me see. Is it like May or something? April? Let me see. Super Mario Brothers movie. That one comes out April. Okay, never mind. So it's coming out a lot earlier. So there's no competition there. But yeah.
And then delayed.
No, yeah, right. Oh, it's delayed because yeah. Something happened.
It's delayed because there's a controversy with Peach. She said something.
Oh my god. Not the actress, but Peach.
Peach.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the comments. Look at the like and dislike ratio is not too bad. Dislikes is pretty prominent-ish, but
Wait, hold on. I gotta fix that then. Dislike.
I mean, it looks like it's only what 10% of and then 10% of what we have with the amount of likes, right? So that's pretty good. And then yeah, that's crazy, man. I think Michael Keaton is like 70, right? So that's, yeah, he's definitely got some age under his belt for sure, but he still got it though. He still got it. I like I'm Batman.
Like the way he came out and just said it is like,
yeah,
I gotta say the line, don't I?
Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm Batman.
Soak it in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but it is cool though. I liked Michael Keaton's Batman, back in the day. I wonder if we see if we'll see a reference to like, Joker's like big ass fucking long revolver, the gun, yeah, and then just somehow shoots down the fucking multi-million-dollar the Batwing or whatever again. That'd be cool.
It'd be so funny, like somewhere in the movie, someone makes a reference to what you call Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah.
And just start doing ice puns like out of nowhere. And it's like really?
Yeah.
Barry, do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age?
Yeah. The Ice Age. Yeah. It's yeah, that would be awesome. But it's just like just that whole thing with the Henry Cavill thing kind of sucks because it sounds like he's not gonna come back, unless it's all a red herring or whatever, and they're keeping Henry Cavill to be like older or whatever, because they're gonna do a young Superman kind of thing, right? That's like the first thing they'll do. So maybe down the line, like, even though I did say, oh, Henry's not gonna come back, that's what it sounds like to me, because Henry Cavill's like Instagram saying, changing the guard, sounds like he's not coming back at all, but like, I don't know, you just never know, right? So just things can change, maybe, potentially. I don't want to put copium in there or anything like that, but I guess you just never know. But for right now, it sucks because you have all this stuff going on with the Michael Keaton Batman, you have the Ben Affleck Batman, you still have Ezra Miller as Flash somehow, and then, you know what I mean? And you have Supergirl coming in there, and then blah, blah, blah. You even have the Snyder freaking General Zod. So everyone's, it's just like, kind of sucks in that regard. But again, if you look at it in the vacuum, I think it looks pretty good, as a movie, right? Looks like it's got good action. Does it hold up with the writing and dialogue and everything? We don't know. Maybe that could be scrappy and kind of messy there, but I think it'll do all right, for what it is. So, I think it'll sell enough tickets for it to keep going. I hope anyway, just because Ben Affleck deserves it, Michael Keaton deserves it, everyone else around who worked on the movie deserves it as well. So, and I'm still surprised Miller is still on the thing, man. Like, luckiest person, I guess, in Hollywood right now. I don't know. Whatever. Well, it's coming out on June 16, so first half of 2023 is still looking pretty stuffed when it comes to media content. Yeah. Was there anything else from the Super Bowl commercials? Just with Ant-Man, right? So that's about it. Yeah, and then
which comes out this week.
Yeah, this comes out pretty soon. So yeah. By the time this episode comes out, I think it's already out. So yeah. But I saw people complaining about fucking MODOK. It's like, he looks stupid or whatever, but like, it's like, bro, he's a fucking floating head with tiny arms. What do you expect, right? Like,
I know.
I think he's supposed to be stupid, right? So yeah, it's a comic book villain.
It's like, I'm sorry, sirs and ma'ams, for saying that this guy looks stupid. He was made back, in that weird time called, I think it was the 80s, 70s.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So shut up.
Yeah, it's a comic book character. Like, chill out.
It's like all you people going like, oh, this is not comic book accurate, blah blah. Like, well, there you go.
There you go. Other than the fact that he's bald, but yeah, it's a fucking floating head with tiny little arms, and he's float. It's just, yeah, and he got all the helmet armor thing. So yeah, they're trying to keep it true. And it is stupid. It's always been stupid, but that's kind of like the charm of MODOK, right? It's a fucking over the top villain and stuff like that.
It's like, also be glad he doesn't sound like, oh God, let's do this.
Yeah. Or you know, like the
Oh,
opposite.
that house.
Yeah.
Like
Analyze cube.
analyze.
Yeah. Psionic blaster. Yeah. Watch, he does the stupid like rocket thing he does like across the screen in Marvel 3.
No, watch, he does the, what was it? His jump, his light air.
Oh yeah, the jump. Yeah, that's his jump animation. Yeah, so yeah,
I'm gonna kick you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. Or is that his air dash animation? I forget. Whatever.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
Still, it's like Jesus Christ.
Just dangling his legs and shit. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And then there's Cocaine Bear and all that shit. So comes to other movies.
I don't know anything about Cocaine Bear, but I was like, based on a true story? What?
Yeah,
or true events?
Yeah, true events. It's loosely based off of true events. I mean, probably like a bear ate consumed cocaine. Maybe it was alive for like 12 minutes and then died because you know fucking cocaine, man. I don't know. That's just my personal like assumption anyway. Maybe I'll look about that story if I'm interested enough, but whatever. Anyways, I think that's all. Definitely it. Before we just reach into that cookie jar and blabber on uninterestedly. So, all right. So that is pretty much it. We definitely covered all the important quote unquote stuff at this point, or prominent stuff. So yeah, it's looking pretty stuff for this half a year, or first half of this year still. And yeah, so we'll be back for 223, and hopefully we got stuff to talk about. Because I mean, eventually we will, because by the end of February, it is Pokemon Day, so we definitely have something to talk about, because they're gonna have something, right? Like a Pokemon Direct or some sort of announcement. So we'll talk about that eventually, and then perhaps I'll talk about Atomic Heart, and I'll be playing that by then. So yeah, tell you how it is. And yep, so that's all there is to it. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to think of something. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.